aka Diz, and this is The Force Always.
Okay, so welcome to the Star Wars show once again. This is a weekly show. Let's get into the news. D23 has been moved for the year that it will come out. That means it's going to be 2 weeks. 2 weeks in between Star Wars Celebration. Will Star Wars Celebration move or combine? That is the question, but now they're very close together. What's going to happen? We don't know, but that's some news. D23, a big Disney event. Star Wars Celebration, a big Star Wars event. Will they merge or will they just be separate, or one be moved further away from? What's going to happen? We don't know. We're just going to wait. Anyway, so that's some news. It's been about a week ago, Mark Hamill's birthday. Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker himself, his birthday was around a week ago. So happy birthday to Mark Hamill. Anyway, to more news. Hasbro had its online con, Hasbro con, whatever you want to call it, and one of the classic feature toys that I've ever seen. I think it's probably the highest ranking looking detail to a toy, is Dark Ray. Check this one out, Dark Ray. It's amazing. This can be ordered. Whether it's still available, I don't know, but it looks amazing. Dark Ray through Hasbro. Check that one out. Hasbro online. Whatever you have to do to find that, just find it and get Dark Ray. Anyway, so pretty much, and also, so in this now is the month of Mandalorian. So it's at the end of this month. We are in the month of the Mandalorian. It's coming. Be excited. The countdown is on. That's right. So that's the news for this time around. Let's get into views. Views is my story ideas that I have. It doesn't matter. It's something to do with Star Wars. Anything to do with Star Wars. This is an idea for a story. This is not a specific story idea. Just an idea how to get a story going. I think personally, at the moment, the debate, the fight of putting movies, video on demand, on streaming services like Disney Plus, would be the most successful way of releasing a movie at the moment, or any sitcom or anything, as everyone is at home. Technically it is sort of a future ideal. We've all imagined with our big TVs now that we've got, back from the old school Sony Trinitron days, which was big back then in the, late 80s, early 90s, maybe late 90s as well. But, having to watch films at home is becoming strongly a reality. How can this happen when a movie costs so much money to create? I think there's two costs involved, especially with a Star Wars film, that you can get things straight video on demand of some sort, whether it's through a Disney Plus series or if it's a special event on Disney Plus that you pay for separately. Preferably, it being just a thing for Disney Plus. How do you do it? I think the key point is actually getting fan filmmakers, selected fan filmmakers, in putting their projects out as a Star Wars, an official movie. It would have to be obviously, sort of looked upon as within timeline purposes, or as canon as we know, what we know as canon, sorry. So I think personally, if the cost of having a fan filmmaker compared to a big time director or producer is a big saving, even with a much smaller wage for the fan filmmaker, would be very large still, but a massive saving for the studio. I think, and plus it just gets what fan film makers want, and a lot of fan film, Star Wars fans would love. I think it would be a great problem solved. The other area I think is with money. It's unfortunately it's to do with money. How George Lucas did this in the beginning, not to think, George Lucas is the miracle maker for every single thing on the planet, even though I admire him a lot, but he did have a lot of unknown actors within the first Star Wars film feature. He had Alec McGuinness, which was Obi-Wan Kenobi, which was pretty high. He sort of had Harrison Ford at that point. It made some waves through American Graffiti and things like that, but still it was kept very low from the amount of money spent on actors. And I think that another key point to Star Wars success is having unknown but very talented actors put together in a great Star Wars film. I think that those 2 points would be cost saving. That's the Star Wars director or producer, and especially director and actors. Those 2 points there, if you bring those costs down, put it on video demand, where you can have something like the Mandalorian come out. I mean, obviously that is profitable even as a Disney Plus streaming service. So there's obviously ways to do this other than just putting everything as a cartoon. But I think this is the way. Anyway, so that's my story idea, getting a Star Wars fan filmmaker and unknown actors into the next lot of films, bringing the cost down for the big studios, but still having quite a sizable paycheck for those people, as I'm sure they would love the money as well. I'm sure it would be quite high for them. So that's sort of a problem solved, from what I can tell, for this Star Wars storytelling ideas. Anyway, so that's views for this time around. Let's get into reviews. Reviews this time around is about my big obsession with things called Ooshies. Ooshies is something that you find from our supermarkets here in Melbourne, Australia. A place called Woolworths. They're just, if you spend $30, you get an Ooshie. It could be any Disney Plus character. It doesn't have to be Star Wars. And you get an Ooshie. It's just a little thing this big. It's a bit useless, to be honest, but it's a bit fun. And, for a Star Wars collector, anything like this is all a part of the game. But this week, I finally got another one, other than other Disney Plus characters, like Frozen and stuff like that. My God, but anyway, that's fine. But I'm after Star Wars. But I got Rey. So Rey here. This is Rey. Very good. Just a bit of fun. But I'm gonna give this I don't know, maybe a 6.5 out of 10. It was fine, just to get. But the one I'm really looking for is something Yoda. It's either the glow-in-the-dark Yoda, which is it's just green. That's all it is. It's just a Yoda that is completely coloured green, and apparently in the dark you can have it glow, but that's another thing. But Baby Yoda, as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, is a very rare item put in these packages called Ooshies. And if you get this one, there's people online selling these for 5 figures, and 5 figures Australian, that is. That's $10,000. That's, crazy for a little thing like this. But anyway, that's the one I would love to get. But anyway, that would be a miracle. But anyway, so that's my review for this time around. Let's get into interviews. That's 2Q, which 2 questions were asked myself for you guys out there. I mentioned early on about the fan films. Which is the fan film that I think would work the most? The next Star Wars film, and that would work great with fan filmmakers. I think a version of Darth Plagueis, the era of Darth Plagueis, which was way before Episode 1, or probably during part of Episode 1, but before Episode 1, officially in the Star Wars timeline, that would be a great series, TV live action series. Darth Plagueis. Darth Plagueis was the master of what's his name? Darth Sidious, which is the Emperor. So that to me would be the one I would think would work well with fan filmmakers and to be seen on streaming service. Anyway, what is the film that you can just wait for a while? What is the film that you could wait for a while with a fan filmmaker? I think it's a bit hard to say this because I really want to see it as soon as possible. I think it's the time is now, but I think you could, if you mention that it's going to be done, it comes along with mentioning and sticking to it will be done in the years ahead. One of the films that will be released by Disney is a Darth Vader film. We've sort of seen likes of this already from the fan filmmaking community, which you can probably see online in various forms. One with a very lot of clicks and some with not so many. But I think if that was known that was coming, that would be something to look forward to, not just amongst Star Wars fans, but also the commercial film goers. They would sort of know who that is, what they're sort of in for. But if you mention that it's going to be actually done down the line, like the 3 movies that are at this stage going to be coming out every 2 years, in a couple of years' time, if that was the 3rd film that would be looked upon as coming out, that would be a great selling point looking forward to. The other 2 films leading into that, what that would be all about, I have mentioned this before, but in this specific sort of discussion to lead into a Darth Vader film, there should be some sort of relevancy leading into that Darth Vader film for whatever reason, whether it's timeline, episode 10, 11, 12, whatever it is. Obviously Darth Vader's not around in that time period, but if you get what I'm sort of saying. But I think the 3rd one, if that was Darth Vader, that was a fan film made, that would be great. And again, fan filmmakers would be paid very high, but way under what the cost of getting a very acclaimed director. That's I mentioned that type of stuff before in views. But anyway, that's the interviews for this time around. Thanks for joining me this week. It's a little bit later in the week here. The weather is changing here. We're going from cold into warm. We are still in an extreme lockdown here in Melbourne, Australia, with the COVID-19 thing. We are still wearing masks by law, technically, when you leave your home. Getting into summer, this is going to be, for us, we're going into summer. Yeah, Christmas for us is into summer. It sounds unusual to some of you guys out there, but it happens for us. It's, but, we're pretty much in extreme lockdown still with what you can and cannot do. But until next week, for the Star Wars news, views, reviews, and interviews, this has been The Force Always. My name is David Zamer, Diz, and keep rocking.